Just around the 1st century, the Holy Land of Israel is governed by the Roman Empire. It is said that Herodias, synonymous with the legend of Kundry, is a Jewish princess who will mock Jesus during his crucifixion, laughing at Christ's agony. As penance, she is cursed with immortality, reincarnating with her haunted memories. Before that, however, Herodias marries King Herod II, or Herod Philip, son of Herod the Great. Their matrimony results in the birth of a child, the young princess Salome. At first, she is an innocent girl, a dancer for the royal court who relies on servants to tend to her every need. That innocence is likely tainted when her mother violates Jewish law, divorcing Philip in favor of his half-brother, King Herod Antipas. Without due cause, Antipas covets his sibling's bride, and Herodias in turn remarries while Philip still lives. The new couple forges this pact, fully ignoring its immoral and unlawful implications. Refusing to let this slide, Herodias does have one vocal critic, Saint John the Baptist, or Yohanan, who outright rebukes her second marriage. Outraged by his dissent, Herodias demands Yohanan's execution, shocking her husband into a panic. Herod Antipas understands and fears Yohanan as a righteous man. Unwilling to outright kill the holy man, Antipas has Yohanan imprisoned beneath his palace. Even in this state, though, Yohanan continues his protest. While the king and his subjects party in their banquet hall, Yohanan shouts from his isolated cell in the palace's cistern, prophesizing the coming of the Messiah. Salome has her own issues with her mother's new marriage. From the moment she becomes Antipas's stepdaughter, she notices his lustful, incestuous gaze. While pledged to Herodias, the king's eyes linger on the thin veil of his dancing daughter. The life Salome has grown accustomed to now disgusts her. Stepping away from the festivities, her ears catch Yohanan's preaching from below. Intrigued, she demands an audience with him, disregarding the guard's disapproval. At first sight, Salome is enamored by the prophet, amorous of his body, and addicted to his voice like wine. She begs for the chance to kiss him, and yet Yohanan curses her a daughter of Sodom and retreats back to his prison. Noticing her absence, Antipas and Herodias join Salome in the dungeon. Time and again, Antipas ignores his wife's advances, instead trying to win favor with his daughter to share his food and wine. Salome's parents are in a stalemate. While Herodias desperately wishes for Yohanan's death, Antipas allows the prophet his words, afraid of the repercussions of killing one who has seen God. This fear, however, gives way to lust. Antipas pleads Salome to dance for him, and when she refuses, he claims he will give her half his kingdom if he must. Salome finally agrees when he swears to deliver her greatest desire, claiming never to have broken his word before. Salome's performance teases and delights the banquet. It is the dance of 7 veils, wherein she removes layers of clothing, one after another, until fully revealing her pale body in motion. Her elegant seduction utterly destroys the king's reason. Only then does she unveil her wish to have Yohanan's head brought to her on a silver platter. Herodias applauds, prompting Antipas to dissuade Salome from granting her mother's whims. Truthfully, though, it is Salome herself who wants it, much to her father's dismay. Antipas apologizes for staring at her and offers all manner of riches in substitution, from a telescopic emerald to countless jewels hidden throughout the palace. Still, Salome's wish remains the same. Devastated, Antipas gives in, sending an executioner into the cistern. Salome awaits the sound of struggle and is surprised by the mere sound of Yohanan's head hitting the ground. Everyone in the palace recoils as she claims her prize. Antipas hides his face as Herodias triumphantly fans herself. Salome wonders why, even in death, Yohanan's morbid gaze still refuses her. Regardless, his head is now hers, his lips ready to meet her own. Her virgin lips are spoiled by the taste of blood. Antipas, horrified by this sight, has the palace's torches put out and woefully orders his soldiers to slay her as well. Salome, whose purity turns corrupt, is released from her madness through execution. Her story is neither one of bravery nor strength, and yet it is famous enough to be archived in the Throne of Heroes. As a malevolent anti-hero, it is possible that Salome can be given a second life as a heroic spirit. Such an event occurs in the modern era when an alien organism, Specimen E, seeks revenge on the human order via a large singularity. This realm of the Thanatos impulse, Traum, pits hundreds of thousands of heroic spirits against each other in a massive war. Lady Creamheeled, infuriated by her husband's selfless devotion to others, establishes her own kingdom, the Revenge faction. Salome, summoned as a berserker-class servant, joins Creamheeled's faction for the chance to peruse its dungeons and torture chambers, gathering skulls. Even though Salome lacks the knowledge and magic circuits to be a proper mage, her obsession with John the Baptist's severed head manifests as a mountain of skulls. Collectively, they compensate for circuits, allowing Salome to practice magecraft regardless of her upbringing. The individual skulls can be fired at her foes, and her silver platter reflects light back at them. Yohanan's head itself emerges as a large crystal skull. It is her noble phantasm, femme fatale Bizer, I have kissed thy mouth. This skull changes size on command, allowing her to hold it or ride atop it. Offensively, she can dispatch the skull to bite down on or spew a fatal red mist at her enemies. These are not the tools of a warrior, and yet they transform the virgin dancer into a deadly force on the battlefield. Still, if John's skull only accounts for one in her arsenal, then where do the rest come from? Some fear that Salome's myriad skulls belong to fallen masters whom she used to serve. By nature of her legend, Salome is cursed to start seeing her own master as her beloved Yohanan. Impeding on the typical contract between a master and servant, she may find herself asking for their head as a prize. The more intimate they get, the more perilous their relationship becomes. In that regard, one might consider her a broken servant, one who is forced to fight without developing any strong connections. Such is her role in the Revenge realm until the arrival of Chaldea. The Chaldea security organization's only master, Ritsuka Fujimaru, gets captured and imprisoned within Creamheeled's kingdom. Imitating her original life, Salome finds herself drawn to the dungeon, yearning to learn about its latest victim. Ritsuka is the only mortal in the land, requiring food to survive. In exchange for stories of their prior adventures, Salome brings Ritsuka meals from the kitchen. Such epic stories enrich Salome's sheltered existence, with knowledge of far-off worlds scattered across history. Soon, these interactions become vital for her, and she even tries to cook her own food as a gift. Even though these meals are crudely arranged by an amateur, Ritsuka gratefully eats them all with a smile. Eventually, Salome even brings Ritsuka to the kitchen so they can cook Kikeon together. Despite the happiness this brings her, Salome is very much aware of her own nature. She knows that, ultimately, she'll come to want Ritsuka's head. If she truly values their time together, she must put an end to their meetings before it's too late. An opportunity comes when the prison is infiltrated by double agents from the Righteous Realm. They aim to rescue Ritsuka and escort them out of Creamheeled's domain. While Salome is strong enough to thwart their plan, she turns a blind eye to it, allowing Ritsuka to escape. She accepts this is what's best for them. That is, until Ritsuka performs one last act of kindness. Though the rescue is an urgent matter, Ritsuka takes a moment to eat and appreciate the Kikeon they made together. Touched by this, Salome elects not just to let Ritsuka go, but also to join the rescue team, directly betraying Creamheeled. Their journey outside the Revenge Realm is treacherous. One after the other, Ritsuka's rescuers fall to pursuing servants. Salome is left carrying the injured master through a forest between kingdoms. Here, Ritsuka is vulnerable, and Salome does her best to suppress her temptation to kill. Even so, she succumbs, asking Ritsuka if they'd be willing to die so she can have their head. Fundamentally, however, Ritsuka and Yohanan aren't at all alike. As Chaldea's master and de facto savior of humanity, Ritsuka refuses to die and begs to be spared. From what she's seen, a saint would never do this. They would instead accept their fate. The contrast is enough to jolt Salome from her obsession, and she continues to escort Ritsuka to the forest's edge. Suddenly, a gunshot rings out, and Salome cries as a bullet pierces her body, fatally damaging her spirit core. One of Creamhield's archer servants has sniped her from afar. Bleeding out, she takes step after step, hiding her agony with a smile. Compared to her alluring dances, Salome now puts on a performance for the ages. She knows that this is the end, but wants to spend it remaining reliable to Ritsuka. After all, their time together is the best she's ever had, and she's proud she can resist Yohanan's curse long enough to save Ritsuka. Thus, when Chaldea's master is safely delivered to the righteous realm, Salome returns to the forest to die alone. The archer who had struck her before fires off another shot, this time ending its target. Salome is not the strongest servant, nor the most righteous. However, without her sacrifice, without her earnest effort to improve upon her sorry state in life, humanity as we know it would have surely ended. This shines a beacon of hope for tragic figures like her. When given another chance at life as a heroic spirit, Salome proves that one can truly change for the better. Thanks for watching.
If you enjoy this channel, help us grow by liking, commenting, sharing the video, subscribing to OtakuDaiKun, and
most of all, smashing that notification bell so you don't miss out on all our anime lore, discussions, and Let's Play content.
you can support us directly through Patreon, Subscribestar, or a YouTube membership, all of which come with benefits like spicy exclusive vids and early access.
As always, celebrate your fandom. I want to give a special shout out to all my $10 and up supporters: Video Gamer 75, Dante Pendragon, WorgGX, Chaos Sonic 1, Steven Elak, Otaku Mom, Jens Bauman, Mystic Samurai 1983, Free Brick, Olympian Doll, Alexis Yukio Gomez Yamato, Lunar Works, Link Pendrago, Observer Bellis, James Hewitt, Uncanny EXP, Crow Calum, Saul Soto, Scout, Tristan Riggin, Major, Mayfu Mado, Caitlin P, Sogai CH, Vladimir Rovna, The Taz 96, Jonathan Padua, Kengo X 77, Hersha of E-Rated Hands, Alistair Bernadotte, and Akakaze Yume. Thank you all so much.